I'm using a throwaway account because admitting this is deeply shameful. I never imagined I'd find myself in a situation like this, hurt, confused, and drowning in the consequences of my own choices. My name is Lily. I'm 24. My husband, Dor. Maybe now my ex is 26. We were together for 3 years of marriage after meeting during our college years. I thought we had a strong foundation. Not perfect, but solid. Jack was my steady ground, calm, patient, and endlessly supportive. And looking back, I see just how much I failed to appreciate that. I failed to appreciate him. We were complete opposites. Jack was quiet and reserved, happiest when reading or watching thought-provoking documentaries. I was the extrovert, craving attention, organizing parties, constantly surrounded by laughter and noise. Yet Jack never once tried to hold me back. He showed up to every gathering, smiled through every chaotic night just to make me happy, even when I knew it made him uncomfortable. He never once complained. He was always there bringing me my favorite coffee, canceling his own plans if I needed something, handling all the household responsibilities. I didn't have a job. We didn't have kids. Still, he cooked, cleaned, managed the bills and never once used it against me. Instead of being thankful, I began to view him as weak. I let the wrong voices influence me. After reconnecting with some old college friends, things started to shift. These were people who lived for nightlife, spontaneity, and recklessness. They told me I was wasting my youth being tied down, that I was too spirited to be stuck with someone like Jack. And the worst part, I started to agree with them. One night after too much alcohol, I cracked jokes about Jack, how he always did what I wanted, how he'd probably jump off a cliff if I asked him to. Everyone laughed. I laughed. In that moment, I felt powerful, but I didn't understand how ugly that kind of power really was. That wasn't just a one-time thing, it became a habit. I regularly made jokes at his expense, let my friends mock him, and instead of defending him, I joined in. They called him whipped, said I wore the pants, and I basked in the attention. Jack never confronted me. Even when he clearly overheard, he said nothing, just kept being the same loving, giving man. I mistook his silence for approval. I truly believed he'd never leave, that he loved me too deeply to walk away. I became openly disrespectful at dinners, at parties. I would cut him off, disregard his opinions, and act like he wasn't even there. Others started copying my behavior. My actions became the example. Yet through all of it, he never raised his voice. Still brought me flowers, kissed me goodnight, and told me he loved me every morning. Then came the neighborhood party, the night that changed everything. Jack was at the grill, doing what he always did, smiling, cooking for everyone, being the quiet backbone of the evening. I was drinking with friends when the conversation turned to husbands. Someone joked about Jack being trained, and I took it even further. I laughed and said he was spineless, that he didn't know how to say no to me. I was showing off, feeding on the laughter. I didn't notice the atmosphere shift until it was too latent, till the silence hit like a wave. Jack was standing there. He had heard every word. The look on his face was something I'd never seen before, calm, cold, and certain. He simply said, "We need to talk." I followed him, anxious, but still not fully grasping what was coming. Away from the crowd, he turned to me and said, "I'm done being your target. I gave you everything, and all you've done is tear me down. I'm leaving. Your stuff will be on the porch." Then he turned and walked away. I ran after him thinking he was bluffing, but when I got home, he'd already packed my things. I cried, I begged, I apologized again and again. But he didn't yell. He just looked at me and said, "That's enough. You don't get to treat me like this and expect me to stay." When I refused to leave, he calmly told me he would call the police if I didn't go. That's when it hit me he meant every word. The man I thought would never push back had finally reached his limit. That night, I walked away with a suitcase and tear-streaked cheeks past the neighbors who had witnessed everything. No one said a word, not even the so-called friends who used to laugh with me. Now I realized they were never really my friends. It's been a few days. I'm staying with my parents now. Jack hasn't replied to a single message or answered any calls. Maybe he never will. I don't know how to fix this, or if it's even possible to fix. All I know is that I destroyed something precious. I pushed away a man who loved me deeply just to feel admired by people who didn't truly care about me. I mocked the very person who stood by me through everything. Jack finally found his strength, and in doing so, I lost him for good. I needed to say this, to admit it. Maybe someone out there will think I'm awful.